Alright, what up YouTube, digital? I don't know how this is looking, or how this is recording, or anything else. I'm recording just direct up live. I'm having problems uploading videos for whatever reason. I want to talk about this whole shooting deal. The active shooter, for whatever his name is. You know, and I've heard a lot of stupid fucking shit. And first off, I can't see it. Hold on here. Got a challenge for you, Haas. It's gray. What is it? I know you can come up with like a generic answer, but I want the more specific answer. There we go. That's a little better. Maybe not, but anywho. First off, let's look at this here. This here, Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. Safety check, all that neat shit. Does come in with a built-in laser. I like it. It's a nice little gun. And if anybody doesn't think 380 is good enough, stand in front of me about 30 feet, and I'll tell you what, I'll be a nice guy. This has 6+1 single stack. 30 feet, 40 feet, 40 feet, 40 feet. 40 feet, bend over, and after 7, if you can come over to me, I'll let you have 7 hits. But anyway, that hole right there, that one right there, I want people to remember what this is. This is a self-protection weapon. That hole has your name on it. Everything you do, everything that comes out of here is your responsibility. Even if you take this and put it up there and your kid comes home from school and shoots up the neighborhood, you're responsible for everything that comes out of here. It doesn't matter if you're at the shooting range, it doesn't matter if you're at the bowling alley, it doesn't matter if you're at Paris Hilton's bedroom naked. Anything comes out of here, your problem. An active shooter scenario. Now, I know that there's people in here that have had training. I know there's people here that can shoot pretty decently. But we've all gone to the damn gun range, and every time we've gone, we've sat there and we've seen, you know, 1 or 2 people. It's like, oh my god, how the fuck did they get a CCW? You know what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not even going to get into really giving a shit what really this guy had or where he didn't have. I don't fucking, doesn't matter to me. The thing is if you deploy this in even an active shooter scenario, you have zero right. There is no hold harmless. There is no good job, man, you got them all and you only nicked 1 person. No, there is none of that. You are liable for anything that happens with anything that comes out of here. I don't understand why some people don't fucking understand that concept. Now, I'm going to get into why that's important here in a second. So I know a little thing about theaters or two. Especially after cleaning them for 7 years. But, even if you had the Glock with, or the new XDM 9mm with 220 rounds magazines on you, you're still facing someone that's probably got more firepower, and who knows what level of protection they have underneath or anything else. This guy even came prepared more than other people have. He started throwing smoke bombs. It's a lot of shit to deal with. So people who want to G.I. Joe it, be forewarned that if you hit someone else, it's your ass. You kill someone else, oh boy, it's your ass. They're not going to be okay with it. It's not Hollywood. So think about that before you deploy it. Also think about fucking, there's been some people talking a lot of weird stupid shit on YouTube. Better watch that shit. You go and have a problem tomorrow, someone tries to rob you at the ATM and they just don't like what they saw, and then they start looking into you, and then they see this shit on fucking YouTube where you're gonna shoot this person, you're gonna shoot this guy, you're gonna shoot that guy, and you'll shoot whatever the fuck and all this other bullshit. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Same with there's been a lot of there's been some people that have gotten locked up for mental shit, and they've had YouTube used against them. And well, not my problem. But okay, back to the theater real quick. I know a lot about theaters because I cleaned them for 7 years. I actually cleaned for that company. That company was going to hire me and a boss right about the time I was getting married to head up their whole deal, their whole cleaning thing. They would have fired all of their companies, all the janitorial companies of all their chain, and we would have showed them how to do it. You know, we would have ran that whole deal. And the owner didn't want to do it. I wanted to do it, so I was going to quit and go do it. And then he blatantly said that he's going to sue me for my non-compete. Which I could probably got away with being able to work for them. But the problem is if I went to work for them, he would have lost the 2 accounts. That's like 12 grand a month. Didn't matter, he ended up losing them anyways. I wish we would have taken that job. But Cinemark, which bought out Century, or they merged, whatever the fuck, owns that Century 16. It's not that much different than the Tinseltown or Movies 14 that I was dealing with in Chico. I was also dealing with Movies 10 until they sold it to a church. But there's a lot of things that people don't know about these. I've heard people talking about fucking, you know, why didn't the guy upstairs in the booth call 911 and stuff. You know, on a Thursday night, that guy is breaking down movies. When they get movies, they're in little rolls like this, and it's like 4 or 10, I can't remember. And then they have to put them on a table. They splice them all together, and they have one giant roll that sits on a platter right next to the deal. There's no more of these little things, you know, one here shit. There's one big giant platter, and that's how they sit. And so he's there breaking them down because on a Thursday they're setting up for all the new movies that come out on Friday, so he has to take out all the ones that are leaving, and so if he was even 15 feet away from that window, he would have never heard it. Never heard it. That's how all that shit is all soundproof and all that other stuff. Yeah. If the usher wasn't close to that deal, he wouldn't have heard it too. Matter of fact, I'm gonna spin this around for you guys so you can see. This is right next. This is how one of these newer projectors look like. And damn it, I hope this shows up. Let me spin this around here, because if I can see myself, see, this is how they look. They put all those movies onto there, and then they have to cut them and paste them and all that other bullshit. But they actually come in little, I'll try to find them, they come in secure boxes, and they edit them together, they put the previews on them and all that other shit. So that's what that guy's doing. He's breaking them down. And so he wasn't near it. And the lights, they either come, they're on almost all new theaters are automatic. They're almost all automatic now, where they can they put a little deal in the film, so it can automatically raise the lights and lower the lights and all that other bullshit. So they can just hit the on switch and be gone and not come back. So the usher is away, that guy's away. The usher ain't gonna know anything until everybody's running out. Now I know this, I checked into it, and they're going to show Batman in 4 theaters starting on Friday, and 8 and 9 were their 2 biggest theaters, and both of them were packed for that showing. So if it's pretty close to how the movie's 14 was, that was probably close to maybe 1,200 people between them, 800 to 1,200 between both of those theaters. And trying to get a clean shot in that type of environment in low light, and people were talking about low light. Low light is not, I mean, it's not that great. And the likelihood of you getting a good shot is going to be small. Plus, that's a stadium seated theater. You're sitting like this. If you're in the lower part, it usually goes like this. The lower part is angled like that, and the upper part is angled like this. So you have this big old long thing, and then you have a little flat area, and then you have a lower one that's about half the angle, and then you have another flat area in the front. He apparently was in there. He walked out through the emergency door, he propped it, went and got his shit out of his car, came back in and started. And it looks like he hung out in the middle platform for a while and did his deal. Even if you were up at the top, if you would have just laid down, it would have been almost impossible for him to hit you. Because of the way the angles are, he'd have to back up farther than the screen would allow him to be able to hit you. I mean, even try to hit you. Because he's down here like this, and you're flat up here, and there's no way he can get to you. He has to back up here to get this type of angle, and just not going to happen. So you're almost safer up at the top, And as long as you don't stand up, you can sit there on your knees. Not gonna hit you. Now, if I was in there, first thing I would do is decide quickly what needs to happen with the people I'm with. Now, I always go up on the top, and I usually go up on the little section that sits above the hallways, because I don't like people. I want my own little fucking deal. Leave me the fuck alone. If you're not in the middle, the surround sound doesn't work that great, so screw it. I'll be back there where I can relax, put my feet up on the railing and everything else. And push come to shove, I can just drop them down. It's not that high. I used to jump off of those things. So they could go down there and be out. Now, the problem, though, we're trying to take a shot at him, and we've seen this before when we've had major fights break out at the theater. God, I can't remember what movie it was. It was kind of a gang movie, and a big fucking fight broke out. Then we had to clean that shit up. Pissed me off. But it broke out into the corridor. It was fucking nasty. But people freak out, and they only remember the way they came in. Unless they see people bolting out an emergency exit, they're not going to go that way. They're going to go the way they came from. So they will run right past that guy to get the fuck out. And it seems pretty asinine, but they'll do it because they don't know any other way out. The booth is a little too tall, and that window's way too narrow to get a lot of people out. So, and the projectors in a way too, and they ain't moving that. So, if you were to miss any little bit, the likelihood of you hitting someone is way too big. There could be someone injured that maybe pretending to be dead down there, and you might think he's dead, and you might go, oh shit, well if I miss, I just hit that dead dude. Here's another scenario that, with all the commotion that's going on, and people don't realize that some of these theaters can be over 100 feet wide, 100 feet long. I've seen theaters that can sit over 1,500 people. Now, there have been some of the bigger theaters, somebody could be smoking pot in the front, and people out there don't even know. Matter of fact, there was one theater I cleaned. Almost in the middle of the theater, I found a girl's bra and a used condom right next. And I'm talking, by girl's bra, I'm talking a training bra that didn't even have a cup size. That part was only like this. And a used condom. It was like from a 10-year-old. And a used condom right next to it. Now, if they can do that, a lot of this shit can get past there. Now, what if you drop those people over? You dropped your loved ones over the railing, and like me, I can't jump that. I'll be paralyzed by the time I hit the ground. So I'm going to hang out, and I'm going to use what this thing is called self-protection. These other people, not my problem. You know, I'll be nice if I can. Not my problem. Self-protection. So what if I drop those guys over, and then I come back up, and I'm sitting here, and I'm trying to get a line on him. You know, I had my gun out, but I didn't want to point. I don't want him to know. I don't want to see her go, hey dude, me and you good? Okay. So see if I'm now reacquiring him to see if things have changed. Is there a better opening? Is there what's going on now? And I still can't get to him. But all of a sudden I see this flashing over here. And there's a motherfucker over here with a gun. Who the fuck is this guy? Now, because I'm up at an angle like this over to one side, I see this guy shooting down over here, but I see him shooting up, it looks like, you know, like 5 feet away from me over here, you know, actually maybe down a little lower. I can't figure out his angle because of the way it is. Believe me, it gets all fucked up like that in there. and you can't figure out what he's doing, but one thing is clear. They're only about 30, 40 feet apart, but between me and him is about 60 plus elevation. So I can't hear his gunshots over his, but why can't he hear his? Why isn't he shooting him? What the f... That was a weird sound. Sound like a trash can falling over. But anywho, so why isn't the gunman shooting this guy, but this guy isn't hitting him? What the fuck is going on? I still can't get to him, but now all of a sudden I got an opening. Now the guy's looking up towards me, and now I'd probably think about it a lot more before I did that. But God knows how many people on YouTube wouldn't. And it turns out that that guy, he had a gun, and he was shooting at the active shooter. He just fucking sucked, because he'd been drinking, and trust me, people fucking drink hard liquor in that movie theaters. Plus he sucks anyways. Low light, smoke. Now he's dead. What if, one more thing before I stop this, what if I'm trying to acquire him and I get close and I think I got one. You know, he's walking from where he was on the pedestal and he's walking now towards the center, so I might be able to get a better angle. And just as he does, I think I got a good shot. I take it. Holy shit, I just fucking hit a lady. I hit her right in the fucking hip. Now she fell to the ground. And now the shooter looks over, sees her, and now, if you don't think that could happen, I can tell you that theater was packed. I could tell you the theater took up most of that. Theater 9 was the bigger of the two. In Theater 9 had the opportunity of being over 600 plus. It's almost the same footprint as the one I was doing, and Theater 9, that's their big one. They usually, in those type of things, they usually have one big one, and then the rest, you know, pretty small, and then a couple of mediums. But there's at least 500 people. My guess would probably be more 700 people trying to get the fuck out of there. You don't think someone couldn't get fucking nicked? Will graze? Again, everything comes out of this is your fault. It's your problem. There is going to be no hold harmless because there's an active shooter. If I know I got my family or whoever I was with out of the way, I'm just going to fucking kick back and wait. If I have to use this, if he comes up closer and comes in range where this would be better effective for its use as my self-protection weapon, I would. But I'm not going to risk my fucking freedom, my fucking financial freedom, or someone else's life, or anything else like that, to try to fucking take out someone that's in the middle of a fucking theater with 500 to 700 people. And I wish Cinemark didn't take down all the details on that theater, because I'd really like to know. I'm guessing that one may be even more. I couldn't even find the building shit for it. That's all locked up. So the media must be bombarding the building code people. So it's a fucked up scenario, but you know what this fucked up thing is? I could tell you back in the 90s, Cinemark already thought about that, and they had drills for it then. And I can tell you right now, they knew, for one, they knew that we were packing, but we didn't usually come in until most of the time it was after they closed. So yeah, it's a fucked up scenario. I wouldn't criticize anyone for protecting themselves or their loved ones, but to just openly say, oh, I'd, annihilate them or anything else, that's just that's not a lot of things. And if you're gonna have that type of attitude, you should reevaluate it, because another reckless shooter does not solve a problem. And even one person being hurt that has a bullet wound that's not the active shooters is one person too many. So, anyhow, peace.